Well, God bless you. Thank you for joining me today for Midday Motivation, your 7-minute plunge. Listen, we're continuing in our series all week, People Pleasing, the Danger of Avoiding Discomfort. Listen, I am so excited to be able to come into your homes, on your job, in your automobiles, or wherever you are. We're sharing today an incredible moment, incredible time of our lives, ministries, and businesses. And I want you to join me for the next 7 minutes as I share the trap of overcommitting. The trap of overcommitting. It is important that I want you to tag, I want you to share, I want you to start a watch party again. For the next 7 minutes, we're going to share some powerful principles and tools to help us to become motivated in every area of our lives. How do you respond when you discover yourself committing and overcommitting to individuals for the sake of people pleasing when your true intentions is to avoid conflicts, causing emotional distress, or simply being unable to decline requests? How do you manage to continue making promises, committing to friends and family, and agreeing to participate, to support and care for others while experiencing exhaustion? Despite the risk to yourself, you find a way to rescue others. Many of us are rescuers. We're busy rescuing everybody, but the dangerous thing that many of us struggle with is rescuing ourselves. The trap of overcommitting, rather, as a people pleaser is to become ensnared in the imperatives to be needed. Many of us live on a day to day basis simply to be needed, the need to be needed. It entails affirming one's presence, and burdening an already overflowing plate. Many of us got too much on our plates already, and we're adding more and more daily. It is important that you and I would take a moment to pause to discover, am I meeting a need, or am I fulfilling an inadequacy, excuse me, within my life? Many of us simply need to be needed. Many of us on a day-to-day basis, I've discovered that in my line of profession as a therapist, as a counselor, as a pastor, I've come to discover that many of us in the church, and yet even out of the church, are manifesting a need to be needed, to accommodate others, to appease others, even to minister to others, to avoid causing offenses, to avoid rejection, to avoid insecurities, as well as abandonment and acceptance. Helping others can be beneficial for many, but it also has its disadvantages. Overcommitting can lead to stress. It can lead to burnout. It can lead to various personal imbalances and not having boundaries. Many of us are failing miserably in our lives because we're giving permission to individuals who are inadequate and ill equipped to handle who we are. We don't set boundaries, and therefore, people are pushing into our spaces, they're pushing into our realms. They're pushing into moments and times of our life that really we need to set balances. For many, overcommitting is a coping mechanism to stay connected and avoid feelings of being unused. It's their way, or our way, of avoiding the fear of failure and the assurance that there are negative consequences to lowering our self-esteem or losing our identity. It is important today. I want to share with you three things that I believe is going to help us in uncovering and coming out of the trap of being overcommitted. It is important that, watch this, it is three things that we want to release to you today that's going to help us. Number one, we want to talk about the trap of overwhelming, the trap of being overwhelmed. Secondly, we want to deal with the trap of overcompensating. And then thirdly, we want to deal with the trap of overcommitting. Escaping the trap, number one, of being overwhelmed and the cycle of people pleasing behaviors and patterns is to request favor, to be invited, and to have a responsibility even when you're already stretched thin. It is important. The trap can ensnare us in a perpetual cycle of activity, a perpetual cycle of juggling an excessive amount of responsibilities, and ultimately resulting in burnout. the more, watch this, we become ensnared in people pleasing behavior, the higher our stress level rise, leading to overcommitment, loss of balance, and the self sacrifice to extend that we are doing a disservice to ourselves and others. In the book of Exodus, chapter 18, Jethro, Moses' father in law, shared with Israel's chosen leader who had overcommitted himself by taking care of the people all day and all night. My question to you right through here is, who's your Jethro? Who's in your life to hold you accountable for your responsibility? Who's in your life to remind you to not extend yourself and fall into the trap of overcommitting? Are you open to receive guidance from someone God has sent into your life? Don't be so defensive and to cause pushbacks because somebody who's been assigned in your life is to challenge you and to cause you to come into an awakeness and awareness that you're overcommitting yourself. It is important that Jethro said to Moses, he says, listen, you're going to wear yourself out. You're wearing yourself out and the people out. Let's take a page, if you would, from Moses and look into the text here in Exodus chapter 18, how we govern ourselves and how we govern fellow believers, leaders. It's important that we don't fall into the trap of thinking that God need us. He need us, and that we are needed and that we cannot be replaced. When we burn ourselves out by overcommitting, we cause ourselves to enter into the trap. Listen, get out of the trap, unrelease and break out of the trap today. Number two, it is the trap of overcompensating. People pleasers and overcompensators and overcommitters constantly overcompensate to satisfy its others with their feelings of inadequacy. This behavior, rooted in fear or rejection and dissatisfaction with self, manifests in overcompensation. In other words, we want people to stay close. We're seeking validation, perfectionism, and we're finding ourselves, watch this, excessively spending, trying to keep people close to us because we live with unrealistic expectations of ourselves and we are literally unhappy with ourselves. The trap of overcompensating is disguised in striving for more than what we possess. It is ultimately leading us to dissatisfaction and unrest with ourselves. Watch this. Avoid the discomfort of your pain that's leading you to overcompensate by becoming trapped in the power of excessive reactions of feelings to inferiority and guilt. Watch this, and inadequacy. To break free from this trap of overcompensation, it is important now that we expose ourselves, become vulnerable to our healing. It is important to understand that God is the all-sufficient one. He has the ability, He has the power, He has the provision, He has it all to ensure your inadequacies and your insufficiencies can be supplied by Him. Let's close. Third, it is the trap of overcommitting. While we have discussed the need to be needed, we have introduced the need of validation and the fear of missing out, also known as FOMO. We often find ourselves, watch this, overcommitting, ultimately being afraid of being left behind or feel like we're losing out. Fear alone confines us to committing to non-essential pursuits. There are things that we're going after that we should not be going after. It is important that, watch this, we learn how to no longer overcompensate and fall into the trap of overcompensating. The trap, listen, I'm closing. The trap of overcompensating and overcommitting in people pleasing behavior patterns results, watch this, in irresponsibility and the inability to maintain an equilibrium, a balance between fulfilling that which is contractual, that which is obligated, that which is necessary, and the demands of personal fulfillment. Sometimes we're trying to fill voids that, watch this, that are in our lives and overcommitting ourselves, burning ourselves out, becoming frustrated. Refrain from ensnaring yourself in excessive commitments to individuals, to locations and people and places and things without acknowledging that you have first must put God first. I got to close here. It is important. Psalms 37:5 says, commit thy way unto the Lord. Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass. It is time that we no longer operate and fall into the trap of overcommitting. Stop overcommitting, burning yourself out, wearing yourself out. Leaders, stop burning out the people, wearing them out. They can't tell you they're tired. They can't tell you they're burned out. You're insensitive. It is important now that there is a sensitivity level that arises. People are overcommitting because they not only don't want to lose out, they also don't want to get the backlash for saying that they're tired. Be sensitive, be cognizant, and be aware that not everybody wants to fall into the trap. It is important. It is no longer time to operate in people-pleasing behavior, but become free. Whom the Son sets free is free indeed. Meet me on tomorrow, part 3. We're going deeper. God bless you.